So, in previous lecture, we discussed about the different zones of pollution along a river stream. So, a different zone of pollution, which includes the clear water zone, where the 100% saturation level, no bottom sludge, no color, and clear water. The second zone, there is zone of degradation, where the point of disposal or whatever the effluent or wastewater which disposed into that zone, and that zone is called a zone of pollution or zone of degradation, where the saturation DO level falls down 40%, and the zone is just below the point where the sewage is discharged. It is dark and turbid color, which contain the bottom sludge, and 40% of DO saturation value reduced. Then increase the CO2 content, which is unfavorable for the development of aquatic life. Algae die out, fish life may be present. So this is the second zone, that is zone of degradation. Next, zone of active decomposition, okay, or either you can say the septic zone. So this is heavily polluted zone, dark and grayish color. DO concentration falls down to 0. Active anaerobic organic decomposition takes place, where the evolution of methane CH4, then hydrogen sulfide, H2S, carbon dioxide, CO2, nitrogen N2. These evolve in the process of anaerobic decomposition. No sludge, lot of sludge coming to the surface, and fish life will be absent, bacteria flora will be flourish. Okay. So this zone is septic zone or zone of active decomposition. Next zone, that is zone of recovery, where the algae reappears as the bottom becomes clear. Fungi decreases and BOD falls down. DO content rises up to 40% of the saturation value. And finally, the last one is a clear water zone, where the 100% saturation, 100% DO. DO rises to the saturation level. Water becomes clearer and attractive in appearance. Oxygen balance is attained, and aquatic life prevails. Okay, so these are the different zones of pollution along a river stream. So now next, that is the oxygen sac or a DO sac curve or oxygen sac curve. So what is the oxygen sac or oxygen sac curve? Okay, so oxygen sac is also known as oxygen deficit. Okay, so oxygen sac or oxygen deficit of a polluted river stream, it is nothing but the oxygen sac or oxygen deficit D at any time in a polluted river stream is defined as the difference between the actual DO content, actual dissolved oxygen content that time, and the saturation dissolved oxygen content at water temperature. Okay, so that means it is a difference, oxygen deficit D, it is the difference between saturation DO minus actual DO. Okay, the normal saturation DO value for fresh water depends upon the temperature, and its values varies from 14.62 mg per liter to 7.6 mg per liter for the temperature varying between 0 to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, in the previous lecture, we already discussed about the how this DO vary with the temperature. Okay, so as the temperature going to be decreases, the dissolved oxygen value going to be increases, and as the temperature going to be increases, the dissolved oxygen value going to be decreases. Okay, so where the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, the maximum dissolved oxygen is 14.62. As temperature going to be increased up to 10 degrees Celsius, the DO going to be decreased up to 11.33 mg per liter. Similarly, when temperature going to be increased up to 20 degrees Celsius, dissolved oxygen going to be decreased up to 9.17 mg per liter. And as it is 38 degrees Celsius temperature, the dissolved oxygen is 6.75 mg per liter. Okay, so nothing but the indication of as the dissolved oxygen, as the temperature going to be increases, the dissolved oxygen value going to be decreases. Okay, so the oxygen deficit must be nil to maintain a river stream in clean conditions. Okay, so the oxygen deficit can be found out by knowing the rate of deoxidation and the rate of reoxygenation. Okay, so You can see this is what the oxygen sac curve, which is a combination of both curve, that is the dissolved oxygen, that is saturation oxygen curve, and the BOD curve. Okay, or either you can see the deoxygenation curve and the reoxygenation curve. The combination of both, you can say DO sac curve. Okay, so DO sac curve, it is a curve of the DO in percentage, so that is oxygen concentration over DO in percent saturation to the time of flow in days or downstream distance. Okay, so distance and the oxygen concentration, and that curve is called as oxygen sac curve. Okay, so this is what the oxygen sac curve, where the DO oxygen content in percentage of DO and time of flow, that is time in days and distance from the pollution of from the point of pollution. Okay, so this is for the combination of both curve, that is the curve number 1, which indicate oxygen sac curve, curve number 2, which indicate the deoxygenation curve, curve number 3, that is indication of reoxygenation curve. So the combination of deoxygenation curve and deoxygenation curve, it is nothing but the indication of the oxygen sac curve. Okay, so you can see the DO content percentage of DO saturation is 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. Okay, and here is time in T. So TC, it is a critical time where the maximum DO deficit occurs. DC, it is a critical DO deficit. Okay, so now next. So organic waste normally undergoes aerobic decomposition in a stream only when the rate of supply of oxygen cannot keep pace with the rate of oxygen demand. That means when the rate of supply of oxygen is more than the rate of oxygen utilized is happen. In that case, the aerobic conditions prevail, and during the aerobic condition, the stream looks like a clear. Okay, but the condition within a stream becomes anaerobic when the supply of oxygen rate is lesser than the oxygen utilized. Okay, so this anaerobic condition is not desirable, as while that anaerobic water bodies, it's, if you consider the aerobic receiving water bodies, it look like reasonably clean and free from odor. But if you consider the anaerobic conditions, that anaerobic condition makes it black, unsightly, odorous. So the biochemical reaction within the stream exert BOD and resulting in the deoxygenation of the stream. The rate of deoxygenation depends upon the amount of organic matter remaining to be oxidized at the given time, as well as the temperature of reaction. Okay, so the rate of deoxygenation is depends upon amount of organic matter which remains to be oxidized, and as well as the temperature of the reaction. Okay, so they undergoes anaerobic decomposition, and the product of such decomposition as organic acid and reduced gases. So these are further stabilized by the aerobic microorganism in the upper layer, therefore increasing the BOD of the stream, and a small amount of oxygen is also utilized by the higher animal for their respiration. So this is the deoxygenation curve. So what is reoxygenation curve? So reoxygenation curve, it is nothing but the supply of oxygen or replenishment of oxygen in the stream occurs due to the absorption of oxygen from the atmosphere, and also due to the release of oxygen by the green plants during the photosynthesis. Okay. So oxygen supply, so oxygen supply, that is by due to the absorption of oxygen from the atmosphere, and also due to relief of oxygen by green plants in the process of photosynthesis. So in other words, though the DO content of the stream is gradually consumed due to BOD load, atmosphere supply oxygen continuously to the water, and the process is known as re-aeration or the reoxygenation of stream. Okay. So when the deoxygenation occurs, simultaneously reoxygenation also occurs. That is when the utilization of oxygen starts, simultaneously supply of oxygen also continues. So supply of oxygen, it is by the absorption of oxygen from the atmosphere, and the the release of oxygen by green plants during photosynthesis process. Okay, so the rate of reoxygenation depends upon some of the factors. So what factors that matter the rate of reoxygenation or reaeration? The first one is the depth of receiving water bodies. Okay, so as the depth of receiving water bodies is shallow depth, then the rate of reoxygenation is more. Okay, so rate of reaeration or reoxygenation is more for the shallow depth, and if the depth is more higher, in that case the rate of reoxygenation is lesser. Second, the temperature of water. Okay, so temperature of water also affect the rate of reoxygenation. As lesser the temperature, higher the rate of reoxygenation. Okay. Next, the oxygen deficit below the saturation tube. And next, the velocity of flow in the stream. That is, the rate is more in a running stream. As the stream is a flowing stream, so rate of velocity is more. In that case, the rate of reoxygenation is also more. Okay. So these are the various factors that affect the rate of reoxygenation or rate of reaeration. First, the depth of receiving body, more for the shallow depth. The temperature of water, lesser temperature, more the rate. Oxygen deficit below saturation due. The velocity of flow in the stream, rate is more in the running stream. Okay, so this curve 2, it is nothing but the reoxygenation curve, and curve 1, that is called as deoxygenation curve. Okay, so this both graph reoxygenation curve and deoxygenation curve, that is curve 1 and curve 2, can be we can express by mathematically, and the combination of both, that is called as oxygen sag curve or oxygen deficit curve. Okay, so when the pollution load is discharged into the stream, DO goes on the reducing. This process is known as deoxygenation, and also it depends upon the organic matter present and temperature. The variation or diffusion of DO is represented graphically by deoxygenation curve. Okay, so this already we discussed about the reoxidation and deoxygenation curve. That is the curve 1, that is oxygen sag curve. Here is curve 1 is indication of oxygen sag curve. Curve 2, which comes down, that is called as deoxygenation curve, that is utilization of oxygen. And curve 3, which is supply of oxygen, that is called as reoxidation curve. Okay, so curve 2, which indicate deoxygenation curve. So why deoxygenation occurs? Due to utilization of oxygen by microorganism. Okay, or some of the oxygen that can be used by higher animal for their respiration. Okay, so that's why this deoxygenation occurs. And why the reoxygenation? The reoxygenation is due to the supply of oxygen from the atmosphere, and also due to supply of oxygen by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so these curves, reoxygenation curves going to higher and deoxygenation curves going to be lower. Okay, so the combination of these both, that indication of the oxygen sag curve. Okay, so at the same time, the oxygen gets added into the stream through the various processes such as photosynthesis, rains, and the atmospheric oxygen. Next, the curve representing oxygen gaining process is known as reoxygenation or reaeration curve. In a running polluted stream, this deoxygenation and reaeration process go hand to hand. Simultaneously deoxygenation, simultaneously this reoxygenation also carried out. Next, deoxygenation is more deficit result. The amount of DO deficit can be obtained by graphically adding both the curves, and the resultant curve is known as DO sag curve. Okay, so the interplay or the interaction between the deoxygenation and reoxygenation, which produce a well-defined profile, and that well-defined profile of dissolved oxygen in the stream is known as oxygen deficit curve or oxygen sag curve. Okay, so the amount of DO deficit can be obtained by graphically adding both the curves. The resultant curve is known as DO sag curve. So DO deficit is given by the saturation DO minus actual DO. So DO deficit is given by saturation DO minus actual DO. So DO saturation minus DO actual. The next one is Titer-Phelps equation can be used to analysis the DO sag curve. Okay, so This is the interaction between deoxygenation aeration process, which produce a well-defined profile that is called as oxygen sag and oxygen deficit curve of dissolved oxygen. If the deoxygenation is more rapid than the reoxygenation, an oxygen deficit results